Hi there guys, that was an exceptionally weird intro jam, even for me. That was a half-full demolished sort of situation, because resolution is for chickens. Anyway, this is an octave pedal by Sonicake. Now I've got to be a bit careful here because I've done a few of their products, and I don't want my channel to become just a spiel for this one particular company. But they were gracious enough to send it across, so it's a good excuse to make a video about something. Simple device, you've got a volume for the dry signal, volume for 1 octave down, and volume for 2 octaves down. I use the 2 octaves down on the guitar in the intro jam and 1 octave down on the bass, because 2 octaves below bass would be pretty damn rumbly. There's only really 2 questions I would have about a cheap octave pedal. One is, does it crap up my basic tone? It's a legit question. You're worried with a cheap pedal that you add it to your signal path, whatever you got going on. Is it going to make it worse just by virtue of it being in line? And the second question would be, what's the tracking like? So, in answer to the first one, I'm going to show you a couple of clips here. The first is going to be a cable straight into my clean channel of my amp, no pedal. And then the second is going to be with the pedal plugged in, but off. So I'm actually going to demonstrate this pedal in the off position, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does if you think about it. The tracking on this pedal is not infallible. I'm going to play you a little bit of the stuff from my intro jam in isolation so that you can hear what it sounded like, number one, in isolation, and see how clean it was. When you go below a certain point on a bass, it starts to glitch out a little bit. There are certain artifacts. Certainly playing an open E or something like that, it's not going to hold on to it completely clean. Likewise, if you sustain a note on the guitar for any length of time, it'll also sort of falter and fall off the note after a certain period. So it's not infallible, but it's not awful either. I will say that if you think about it in terms of a musical context, how you would actually use it in a live environment, for instance, if you use this on bass guitar, you wouldn't really put an octave below bass and then just thunge around the low strings. Thunge is a technical term. Because it's just going to get far too woofy, which is also a technical term. My OC3 is a particularly woofy sounding octave pedal, and I've used that live. And it's great fun. You know, you've got all the power in the world, you hit that low string and your trousers are flapping in a breeze, small children are being bowled backwards down the room. It's hilarious, but probably not that musical. So in a real-world application, I'm not sure whether you would actually find the limitations of this, particularly on guitar. If you're in the higher register playing lead stuff, it's not going to falter at all, and there's no latency. I'm just going to quote from the online blurb just for a second here. It grants you a nice gift for hands and mind when progressing a monophonic melody line on guitar or bass guitar. It does some of those things, and it does it very affordably at 33 quid if you look on Google. So all in all, I think it's a good solid offering, super cheap, as is the case with all of these Sonicake products, and worth checking out if you're new to the world of octave, or you just want to dabble in it. Yeah, this is about the cheapest way of getting into that and getting a good sound. Alright, thanks for watching guys, see you next time, later.